Welcome, everyone. I would like to now invite the Toastmasters to raise a toast to Rotary International and to our guests.
President Lewis, it is our pleasure today to raise a toast to the Rotary Club of Queenstown. We have Sabrina here with us. I've been attending the calls for many days and seeing her for the first time. And Sabrina, welcome to the Rotary Club of Singapore 3310. Uh, uh, we are pleased to have you within this meeting today. And along with us, please enjoy the entire conversation. We have Hemant Bakshi from Unilever International talking a lot about his program. And fellow Rotarians, please join me in a toast to the Rotary Club of Queenstown, coupled with a toast to the Rotary International.
To Queenstown,
and Rotary International.
Rotary International.
2nd of September, the birthday of Toshi Omiyama. Toshi-san, are you in the chat? If not, let us all just wish him a very happy and blessed birthday. And then we have a wedding anniversary, Alat and Ann Noy, 25th of September. Pak Wilson and Alison Wijaya for 28th of September. Congratulations, and may you have many more good years ahead.
Thank you, thank you, thank you very much.
Okay, welcome. And now we have introduction of new members. This evening, we have the great pleasure of inducting 3 new members. Daulat Uttamchand Bashwani, Ira Mira, and Deepti Sharma.
Thank you, President Lewis. I'm again very delighted to introduce many of the young and very interesting Rotarians, would-be Rotarians. I'll start with Deepti Sharma first. Yeah, Deepti has been an outstanding in her career. She admits she came from a very challenging background. Her father came from a very challenging background and fought it out and got to the top echelons in the Indian civil services on the CBI. She herself is very outstanding academic wise. She has done a master's from UK. Presently, she is working with the Larsen and Toubro, handles very large portfolio. She will, other than her academics and all that, she is very good in doing the social service, probably beach cleaning and the exercise and all those things. I'm sure she'll be a great asset and she'll be great, bring a lot of flavor to our club and make it club a little more younger than the earlier. That's for Deepti. Now I'll come to the Ira. Ira is another outstanding the candidate we are adding into the club. Ira is very she runs her own company, cloud-based F&B. So I will understand with her one day when I'll meet with her, and we will have food in cloud probably. And Ira is very very energetic. She's Singaporean, and she spends a lot of time, and she's going to launch a lovely app in coming in the soon. She's going to launch an app, and she has done a lot of civil service and sort of social service in Nepal, Japan. Very keen in education field. Probably when it says Nepal, I get more excited. So probably Mr. Patel has introduced her. I think the Patel and Ira, and I think probably I will also be very, very working closely to do some projects in Nepal. So I'm sure, Ira, we welcome you in the club, and I'm sure the president will do a joint welcome to everyone. So we have 2 very young people join the ladies, join the club. That's a good thing. Now the third candidate is the Daulat Bhojwani. Daulat Bhojwani, for me, I don't read his profile. He's my brother-in-law. Next to him is sitting my sister Kavita Bhojwani.
Hi everyone.
So probably they are the lovely couple. Sister has been secretary of the the women's wing also, and she has been very, very helpful. Daulat has been one of the excellent guy doing the silent worker, doing a lot of social work. He's one of the kinds who will not brag and talk, but he will keep doing a lot of things. And he's the unsung hero many times, and the couple will bring a lot of energy, enthusiasm. He's in the field of the medical products like the hip joints, knee joints. And before that, he has worked in the trading companies, and he is basically masters. He is a mechanical engineer, masters from Pune, Singaporean. They have two lovely children. They work in one Singapore, one in the Ivy League guy in Microsoft. So they bring a lot of, so I will have more known people, very old people in the club. So I welcome all of them. Over to you, President.
Thank you very much,
Thank you,
Subhash.
Subhash. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, and nice joining you all. And
Thank you very much.
thank you for taking us as the member.
In the club.
Yes.
Thank
So in the same order, may we first invite the First Lady, which was mentioned by Subhash, to address us, and that would be Deepti. That's right. Can you please say a few words, maybe in 1 minute, please?
Sure, Louis. Thank you, President Louis. Very excited to join the Rotary Club. Heard really good things from my friend and one of the key Rotarians now, Madhu, and looking forward to work with the, with some of the organizations to bring, basically grow more of, women education, girls education, or women empowerment, which is a kind of my core area and my interest areas. And also, learn from all of your experiences. So looking forward. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Deepti. And now can I invite Ira to speak to us?
Good evening, President Louis and fellow Rotarians. My full name is Ira Mehra, and I'm very happy and grateful to you all for giving me this opportunity to join Rotary and do some service to humanity. Professionally, I'm an interior designer / realtor, and now I'm a very proud entrepreneur, coming out, as mentioned earlier, coming out with my own cloud-based application in F&B industry. I will be launching around January. And I'm a proud mother of 2 boys and a wife of a very loving husband. I feel we are very blessed by God, and in all ways. So I would, I've been always interested to do something for others, humanity in totality. So wherever I found opportunity, I would try and help. As mentioned earlier, I worked for Japan. I did a bit part for India. For Nepal, I had worked earlier with Gopal. And that's how, with his guidance, I was able to come to this stage today. And I feel that I can go much more under the structured umbrella of Rotary and do much more where my passion lies. I want to do more for the underprivileged and help them around. Well, that's all about me. Thank you so much all for giving me this opportunity to join you all in this cause. Thank you.
Thank you, Ira. And now, last but not least, Daulat, please address us.
Thank you very much for taking us in. Subhash has given enough introduction. I'll just brief it about my likings. I like to train youngsters for their career, for their life balance, and all those matters. I have those kind of skills I learned from my wife. And to be very honest, my wife Kavita is my backbone, not only backbone, and she's poetry of my life. And Kavita means in Hindi is called poem. So that's why she's a poetry of my life, and she is everything for my life. And she has taught me so many things. And that's why I'm able to really handle youngsters pretty well in their career and their life balance. Yeah. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
May I say something?
Oh, yes, please. Would you like to come closer to the camera?
Can you see me?
Yes, you come
Yeah.
closer to the camera. Yes.
I
Thank
think it
you.
is. I think it is his love which is speaking, as what as what Subhash said. That is an unsung hero. He has his own capabilities and abilities, and of course, we have passion to help people. And for me personally, I'm a physiotherapist by profession, and I've worked in SGH for the last 24 years. I just semi-retired, and I was a secretary for IWCSC Singapore Central, which is a new club in District 331. And of course, as what Deepti said, I'm very, very interested in women empowerment, in education, and helping them in any sort of way. So I think hopefully we'll get more opportunities and more insight into how we can help. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Subhash, please get ready another membership form.
Yes. We have quite a few president.
Yes.
A lot of
Because
people.
I think
Sure.
Mrs. Daulat, I think is ready.
His sister must be a perfect
And
candidate.
of course, the word empowerment rings a lot of happiness for past President Perlita. She is in charge of empowerment of young ladies.
Empowerment of girls.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
my passion.
So we now have a perfect candidate to join the committee. Thank you and welcome all three of you. And now it gives me pleasure to read to you your induction charge. So induction of Mr. Daulat Uttamchand Boshwani, Ms. Ira Mera, and Ms. Deepti Sharma. Fellow Rotarians, it is my privilege and pleasure today to welcome into our membership Mr. Daulat Uttamchand Boshwani, Ms. Ira Mera, and Ms. Deepti Sharma, who were proposed for membership by the following directors: Director Rotarian Subhash Pritmani, Rotarian Madhu Banerjee, and Rotarian MM Patel, respectively. The proposals have been reviewed in accordance with the Constitution and bylaws of the club. Daulat, Ira, and Deepti, as you would like to be known in the club, we now proceed to admit you into membership in the Rotary Club of Singapore. You have chosen for membership in this club because your fellow members believe in you to be a leader in your field and have qualities which will allow you to carry out the work of a Rotarian. In electing you to membership, we are doing more than taking you into our fellowship. We are making you a trustee with us of Rotary's ideals. Knowing you to be a Rotarian, the world will henceforth judge Rotary by your conduct. Membership in Rotary is an honor and privilege, and every privilege has its corresponding obligations. You have agreed to accept the responsibilities attached to your membership in this club and to obey this club's constitution and bylaws. One of the special obligations of membership is regular attendance at the weekly meetings and the monthly service committee meetings and participation in club projects and activities. It is the primary method of fulfilling the principles of service and fellowship, and also a way by which you represent your vocation. Daulat, Ira, and Deepti, the ideal of Rotary is service. Our principal motto is service above self, and the object of this club and all Rotary clubs is to encourage and foster these ideals as a basis of worthy enterprise. You are to share in this effort. And for this Rotary year, until the year June 2022, I would be pleased if you would serve on the following service committee. For Daulat, you'll be under International Service Committee. Your mentor is past President J.K. Ong. Ira, you will be assigned to the Community Service Committee. Your mentor is past President Stan Low. And Deepti, you will be under Youth Service Committee, and your mentor is past President Perlita Tiro. Your mentors will guide your assimilation through the Service Committee. your classifications. Daulat, your classification would be healthcare, distribution of medical products. Ira, your classification is food and beverage, lifestyle app development. And Deepti, your classification, IT services, sales and account management. As you represent a classification, it is your duty to tell us about your vocation and to bring the ideals of Rotary to your business and profession. And now, by the power vested in me as President of the Rotary Club of Singapore, I declare you three to be active members of this Rotary Club. I will present you with the Rotary emblem and a packet of Rotary literature at a later date. I especially commend to your attention the object of Rotary and the four-way test, which form the criteria for Rotarians in their daily lives. I also suggest that as and when you travel, you avail yourself of the extraordinary opportunity you will have to attend Rotary meetings and meet Rotarians throughout the world. This is another very rewarding benefit of your membership. To all fellow Rotarians from Singapore, overseas, from other clubs, I'm happy to present to you Rotarians Daulat, Ira, and Deepti, our newest members. Let us all unmute ourselves and welcome them to the oldest Rotary Club in District 3310, the Rotary Club of Singapore. Welcome
Thank you,
to all
everyone.
three of you.
Welcome.
Thank you, everyone.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Ira.
Congratulations to all three of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Please,
Look forward.
yes, we look forward to your active participation.
Sure.
So tomorrow there is a meeting for YSC. So Deepti, you will join tomorrow's meeting.
Sure. No worries.
I'll go back now to the okay, and now we have the pleasure of introducing our speaker for this evening. And the introducer would be, okay, thank you, Sean. Rotarian Sean Lee, please do the introduction. Thank you.
Thank you. So long before I actually do know Mr. Hemant Bakshi, and it was just fortuitously that I was asked to do a close-in this evening. So long before I had met Mr. Hemant Bakshi, our chairman of the Smollen Group, Mr. Doug Smollen, has spoken very fondly of Hemant and has a deep-seated admiration towards Mr. Hemant Bakshi. I've subsequently met with him on a number of occasions, and I've really been taken by his intellect, his humility, and his real deep sense of purpose. Hemant, on behalf of the Rotary Club of Singapore, our past presidents, President Louise, honorary members, and fellow Rotarians, welcome, and we really look forward to your talk with us this evening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rotarian Sean Lee. Mr. Bakshi, please.
Yeah. So firstly, I must start by thanking everyone for giving me the privilege of being here. And it's really, truly a delight for me to be part of this meeting, because I must tell you a small story about myself. I grew up in a small town in India. And when I was very young, we used to go to the club or a gymkhana club in our city. And I used to find that on every, I think, Wednesday evening, there used to be a Rotary Club meeting. And if any of us kids who were playing there got anywhere close to it, we were all shooed away by the guard and we were not allowed to come anywhere close to it. And at that time, I used to always think that one day when I grow up, I'll have a chance to go inside the room and see what happens inside, because I was not allowed in. So in some ways, this is today a dream come true for me. While there is no room and there isn't a club, at least through the technology of Zoom, I have the chance to be a part of Rotary Club and understand what goes on inside that room. So really, really a childhood dream come true for me to be here today. I just want to take the next 15-20 minutes to talk about what we do in Unilever and also introduce myself, although I think Sean's done a really good job of it, but I'll try and do that. And I hope I can leave at least 10-15 minutes in the end for any questions that you might have. I have a small deck of charts which I can share with you. So Jessica, if you could put that up for me, please, I can then run you through that. Yeah. So I work in Unilever and I've worked in Unilever for last 32 years, which is quite interesting. I joined the company in India and then I worked in global roles, regional roles. The previous position I had was the president director or the CEO of our business in Indonesia. I ran that business for 6 years and now I'm based in Singapore for the last 1 year, trying to build a new business for Unilever in the e-commerce space of trying to create a marketplace. And you know, when I talk about being in Unilever for 32 years, given the fact that nowadays people can't think beyond working in a company for a year or two, a few years back, I went for recruitment to an MBA school. And one of the students there asked me this question as to why after so many years, are you still in the same company? I think underlying behind his question was that you're probably unemployable. Nobody else gave you a job. But it set me off thinking as to, you know, after so many years, why am I still here? And I feel the answer really is that everything I believe in, my values and my sense of purpose is very much in sync with the purpose of this company, Unilever. And that more than anything else, more than, you know, what I might earn, the position I might have, more than anything else, it's the purpose this company has and the values of this company which have kept me here for so long. And I'm truly, truly blessed to be part of Unilever. So if you go to the next slide. Yeah, I'm really excited today to share with you a little more about Unilever, but more than just Unilever, what is the purpose of this company? The purpose of Unilever is to make sustainable living commonplace. Now, let me try and explain what I mean by that. We all know that our planet is under stress. People say that the level of consumption there is in the world today, we need the resources not of one planet, but 3 planets. And the time is already too late. If we don't act now, we will lose this lovely world we live in for future generations. So in some ways, we want to make a difference and we want to make our lives, our businesses, and the world more sustainable. But we understand that we play a very, very small role in the larger ecosystem, and we can make a difference only if we are able to communicate this to many, many more people, and we can get our consumers to start living sustainably. Only when we do that, we believe we can make a significant impact in what seems otherwise to be a one-way road towards what might be a serious crisis for the humankind. So that's really the purpose of this company that I work in. And today what I will do is share a bit about Unilever, tell you about the company, but spend some time also talking about our purpose. Next slide. We are a big company. Our turnover in last year was 51 billion euro. We are present in almost every country in the world, about 190 countries, but largely emerging markets business. Almost 60% of our business comes from emerging markets. But probably the most important and most relevant statistic on this chart is the fact that 2.5 billion people, that's almost 1/3 of the world's population, uses our products every second of the day. And we believe that is an incredible responsibility, a privilege, which we must leverage to create a better world for ourselves. So therefore, we are a consumer goods company, we are global, we are large, and we are in mostly in the emerging markets. That's Unilever. Next chart. But we truly are a brand-related business. We are a marketing company. Our job is about building brands. We have 400 brands which we sell in different parts of the world. 13 of these 400 brands have a turnover of more than 1 billion euro. So they are large brands. And 14 of our brands are in the top 50 brands in the world. So we are a brand business. We are a consumer products business, a fast-moving consumer goods company. That is what we are. And our entire effort is to build brands which consumers love. But maybe let me tell you a little more about our brands. So next chart, please. We are known by our brands more than by our company's name. So many of our consumers may not know what Unilever is, but the brands which you see on the screen, and there are just a few of the 400 brands we have, are household names. So if you live in the US, you would know Dove, you would know Ben & Jerry's. If you are in Singapore, I'm sure you know Magnum, you know Ben & Jerry's again, and Lipton. If you are from India, you know, whether it is Brook Bond, Sunsilk, Lifebuoy. I used to work in Indonesia, Pepsodent, Sunlight. These are household names. And for most of our consumers, whether it is in India, Indonesia, Singapore, or any part of the world, they don't see these brands as foreign brands or global brands. They clearly see these brands as their own country's brands, local brands. And that is what we believe has helped us over a period of time to build brands which consumers love. And interestingly, we touch every part of a person's life. So when you wake up, maybe it is with a cup of tea, which might be Lipton or Brook Bond. Then you probably have a shower with Dove or Lux or Lifebuoy. Maybe shampoo your hair with Sunsilk, an ice cream somewhere along the way. And of course, maybe when you go to sleep, some of the beautiful ladies on this call take off their makeup with Pond's, which is a well-known skincare brand, at least in some parts of the world. So we do occupy all parts of the day. And therefore, we believe we are really privileged that through our brands, we get to touch so many lives. So we are a brand business. Let me spend a couple of minutes telling you about the 3 divisions which we have within Unilever. So next chart, please. We divide up the company into 3 parts. The first is what we call beauty and personal care. This is a 21 billion euro business. And our purpose, which we've created over a period of time, is to become, for our people and the planet, the most positive beauty business in the world. So we want to be positive for the planet, and we want to be positive for the people. And therefore, we, through our brands, whether it is Axe, Dove, Lifebuoy, Lux, try and live this purpose on a day-to-day basis. Our second biggest division is foods and refreshment, a 19 billion euro business, where we believe we want to be a world-class force for good in food. Food as an industry has had many challenges. We believe there is an opportunity to make a difference. And therefore, as we go forward, plant-based foods is a big initiative of ours. Some of you might have heard about Vegetarian Butcher, which is in Singapore, which is about making sure that we can bring plant-based products which taste really very, very good and can create a better opportunity for people who do not want to use products which might have animal base. Our third division is home care, a 10 billion euro business where we talk about making people's home a better world and our world a better home. And I'm sure some of these brands you know, whether it is a Surf or a Omo or Safe, Domestos, Sunlight, these are brands which we use for hygiene and making sure we have clean clothes, clean homes, and clean water. So that's really our 3 division. But if we go to the next chart, when we really strip away everything, why do we believe that over the last 150 years, we've remained one of the largest consumer goods company in the world? The reason for that, we believe, is truly our people. And we invest a lot in people. In almost every country, 54 countries, as you can see here, we are rated as the #1 employer of graduates in the country. And therefore, we make a significant effort to select the best talent there can be. But then we focus a lot on training, development, building leadership capabilities. And as you can see, 93% of our leaders are local leaders. Our business in Indonesia is now run by an Indonesian lady who took over from me. The business in India is run by an Indian. So we might have our parentage or our origin in England, but we are truly now a local business. Another fact that we are really proud of is that we are totally gender balanced. We have as many women in our management ranks as we have men. So it's a 50-50 culture. And we believe that has made our company a much better company. We do believe truly in diversity and inclusion. The next chart. And here I just want to say that we believe in sustainability. It's truly important for us, but we are really happy that it is also something which has been acknowledged by many global organizations, including the Dow Jones Sustainability Index, which for the last many years has rated Unilever as one of the most sustainable businesses in the world. And why do we have this reputation? If you go to the next chart, you might say that finally you're just a humble soap and shampoo and soup business. How can you make a difference? We believe that that is true. We are indeed a humble soap manufacturer, but we have the advantage of scale. And the advantage really comes from the fact that we can touch billions of people. And if we can encourage people to use a soap, wash their hands, we can truly make a difference in the health and hygiene of the world. You know very well that if you wash your hands, it prevents disease, even COVID can be prevented. So therefore, we believe while we might have very simple household products, the fact that we touch so many million people makes us, gives us the opportunity to do good. And we truly believe that it's our role to make our scale work for us and for the world around us. So that's really what we do with the scale. So next, go to the next slide. And at the heart of everything which we do is our purpose. I remember someone telling me a few years back that for almost every person, there are two very important days in their life. One is the day you're born, and the second is the day when you know why. And indeed, purpose is about knowing why we are here and what we can do to realize our purpose and have an impact. This, as I said earlier, our purpose as Unilever is to make sustainable living commonplace. And we believe there are three key tenets which support it. The first is brands with purpose grow. So purposeful brands, brands which you know are a force of good, tend to grow faster than other brands. So we truly believe that brands with purpose grow. We also believe that companies that have purpose last, they stay longer, they are financially more successful, and people with purpose thrive. So those are our three most important tenets, which is brands with purpose grow, companies with purpose last, and people with purpose thrive. To just make the story a little more come alive for you, let me play a short video, which hopefully will tell you a little more about what we do. So let's see, this is the big technological moment for us, Jessica and me. Let's see if we can play this YouTube video for you.
In these little moments, from billions of life stories all over the world, we're there.
You know that climate change is happening faster than even the most pessimistic of scientists warned us.
The world is changing.
We are not, as a world, on top of this pandemic.
Climate and ecological breakdown.
Southeast Australia is on fire. No doubt in the world scientific community that this is a direct result of human activity.
The person's always washed right.
Domestos kills all known.
You from north.
So we look to our founders' legacy to guide us, to create, to innovate. To use tomorrow's technology to build a better future. To build a culture as diverse and as remarkable as the people we serve. To tackle the big issues that affect us all.
If we don't value the services that nature provides, we cannot be a sustainable business.
Plastic has become the default material of everything.
Together, we can build a renewable world.
This is no longer about ideology. This is about sheer economics.
Inequality is not inevitable. It is a choice we make.
Leave nobody behind.
Because our brands are so much more than just brands. They are our commitment to making sustainable living commonplace. This is our purpose.
यही तो सोचे दीदी जब हमको तो कम फायदा हुआ हमारे बच्चा के
Where every unique moment, everywhere, every day, by everyone, is each a part of something bigger, something better, a way that's good for everyone, for the planet, for business, for the future.
Thank you. So that would have given you some idea about what we try and do as a business. But what you saw there were really examples from all over the world. I now want to take the next few minutes to share a few examples from places close to us. So if we go back to the presentation, I want to first start and talk a little about Indonesia and what we do in Indonesia to bring our purpose to life. Yeah. Next slide, please. The one after this. Yeah. So Indonesia is a large country. We have a large business, but we believe that the three tenets we have must come alive in everything which we do. On Brands with Purpose, we do many things, but the initiative I'm most proud of is the fact that we reach out to 2 million children every year. And these are children who are from the most underprivileged parts of the society. We go to the schools and we teach health and hygiene habits to the young children there through our brand's Lifebuoy, which teaches them to wash their hands 5 times every day, through Pepsodent, a toothpaste which teaches them to brush properly, and through our products like Domestos and Pureit to maintain sanitation in their surroundings. And this is a program we've been doing for the last more than 20 years, and we believe we will continue doing it for many, many years to come. As a company, we connect with smallholder farmers because we do believe sustainable farming practices are extremely important, whether it is in palm or indeed in coconut sugar. So that is some work which we do with about 100,000 farmers every year, and that's paid us a lot of dividend. We've also leveraged our R&D to create what we call the dwarf coconut trees, because climbing coconut trees, which can be 20, 30 feet tall, can be dangerous. So we've created coconut trees which grow only to about 8 feet, so that plucking the coconut is easier, women can do it, and it's much safer. And for people with purpose who thrive, every Unilever Indonesia employee who joins us has to go through a purpose journey, living with people who are underprivileged and being able to articulate what their personal purpose is. So that's really some examples. There are many other examples I could give, but what we do in Indonesia. Let me also quickly talk about Singapore before I bring this to a close. In Singapore, we've been working really with the government during the period of COVID, creating care packages for hawkers, making sure that we can give hygiene products to people who go to hawker centers, or indeed people who have been afflicted by it, and indeed trying to see how we can leverage our food services to be of value to people who are having a more challenging time than some of us during this difficult time. So that's really all about Unilever. I'm sorry I might have taken a little longer, but I'll be very happy to answer any questions you have. But before that, once again, thank you very much for inviting me for this fantastic event. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hemant. Very informative and very incisive. I think we have all learned a lot. And frankly, I didn't know that so many brands came under Unilever. And yeah, definitely avoid the shampoo. Right. So I think now we have question and answers. We have some time for it. You can just unmute yourself and direct your questions to Mr. Bakshi.
Mr. Bakshi, can I start? Oh, sorry.
There are a few questions in the chat already.
Okay. Can I start since I have unmuted?
Okay.
I just wanted, yeah, thank you. You talked about your work in Singapore. Is this going to be a different one completely from the brick and mortar situation you had in Indonesia in the past? So are you sort of like coming up with online services for Unilever or something like that? Maybe you can just tell us what you're doing in Singapore.
Yeah, no, very happy to talk about that. And I'm sure my friend Sean can also talk about it, because we are working very closely with Smolens, organization I really, really respect. What we are trying to do is to digitize our route to market. So across the world, we reach close to 5 million traditional trade stores, mom and pop stores. You don't see so many of them in Singapore, but if you're in Indonesia, India, or any other emerging market, you'll see many of them. We believe that as digitization is happening, there is a real chance that there will be a digital divide, and a lot of poor people, small and medium enterprises, will be left behind. So what we are trying to do is to digitize our customers, and as a result of it, give them a better chance, even the playing field, so that they can compete with e-commerce and organized trade. So that's what we are trying to do through digitization of our route to market. It's a global initiative, and I'm quite lucky that I get to lead it. And I'm based in Singapore, which is again something a very fortunate outcome for me personally.
That's wonderful for the smaller businesses. Yes, mom and pop stores. Thank you.
Can I ask a question, please?
Yes, Uttam.
We have a sustainability committee in our club. As a very basic opportunity, what would you recommend that we as ordinary, simple people take up to look into sustainability issues?
So first of all, I believe that Rotary Club has been doing a lot more than any other organization in this space. And I'm sure you know about this much better than I do. And therefore, I'm hardly in a position to give any advice. But I do believe that there are significant opportunities in the community. And I feel more and more the level of inequality in our world is increasing, and the rich are becoming richer, and the poor, unfortunately, are not doing much better. And the pandemic is accelerating that division. So I feel being able to provide help to people who are unable to keep pace with the changes in the world will be very important. I do know, for example, e-commerce is changing the world around us, but unfortunately, not everyone is being able to participate. So I feel if there is anything we can do in our communities to reduce the level of inequality and allow people to benefit from technology, I think it can make a huge positive impact as we go forward.
Yes, and Rotarian Mark, you have a past president, Mark.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, having worked in multinational corporations myself,
I also had to carry and perfect social responsibility messages, delivering to, for example, Channel News Asia and other interviews and so on. But yours is very, very good. So my question only is the Unilever message permeated throughout the entire Unilever organization?
Yeah, very difficult for me to answer that question because I do believe it spreads across the length and breadth of a company. But maybe it's best answered by people who are outside the organization. Number of our partners, people we work with, our customers, suppliers, and other stakeholders come and tell us that when they meet a Unilever person, they find that while they are capable, like indeed people are in similar multinational companies anywhere in the world. So I don't think our people are any brighter or in any other way more talented than other people. But everyone does say they find that they tend to be more purposeful. And I believe that happens because this is something which is the environment around us. When I joined the company many years back, people who are very senior to me taught me the value of purpose. And I can give you one example to prove the point. When I joined the company, the first thing the company did was to send me to a very, very small village in North India, which did not even have electricity at that time. And I, for the next 2 months, spent the entire time in that village. I stayed in a villager's house, one of the poorer ones. I lived my life for 8 weeks there. There was no running water, no toilets, no electricity, but that is what I did. And I'm not the only one. Everyone who joins our company has to do that. And I believe that is one way in which we are able to take young, bright, intelligent, at times arrogant, MBA students, but then teach them that their role in life is not to accumulate wealth, but to be able to have a positive impact in the society and community. That's really what is more important than anything else.
Thank you.
Past President Keith.
I thought somebody was going to ask for me, but now I've got to ask myself. Thank you for letting me ask the question. Please explain, I enjoyed your talk, thank you very much. Please explain some of the initiatives that Unilever is taking to deal with the waste from your products, given the huge amount of plastics, multi-layer plastics, that your products are wrapped in, those like soaps and shampoos and things like that.
Yeah.
By the way, I have an interest because I'm in a waste management company, and we're working on some of these things in the Philippines at the moment.
Yeah, so I feel that's a really important question because it's an issue which we need to deal with. We don't want to be part of the problem. We want to be part of the solution. We have taken a number of actions so that we use less plastic and we make our plastic much more recyclable. But also a key initiative for us is we want to become plastic neutral, which means we want to collect back as much, if not more, than the plastic which we put into the environment. One of the things I'm sure but it is also something which people debate a lot. We believe plastic is not bad in itself, and therefore plastic needs to remain in the economy, but not in the environment. And therefore making sure we can collect plastic, make it recyclable is something which we are working on. And we have really audacious goals on how by 2025, we as a company will become plastic neutral. But what we also know is that this is not something which we can solve on our own. We will need the help of many people who are part of this ecosystem, including yourselves, the waste management work which you're doing in Philippines. We would be very, very happy to partner with you and other such companies which are playing a huge, remarkably positive role in this space.
Thank you.
Can I ask a slightly different question, President?
Yes, of course, Brigitte.
Thank you so much, Hemant, for your talk. Very, very interesting. And I do have a more strategic question. You talked about how young leaders are onboarded and how they are trained with a sort of practical experiences. I know that Unilever affords an internal academy, 4 acres in London and also in Singapore. How do you, I mean, being 22 years in the company, how do you rate this? Is this still timely or is it a combination? Would be interested in seeing how you rate this and judge it.
Yeah, so we believe that most of the training and development happens on the job. And yet formal training is also important. So we have a ratio of what we call 70-20-10. 70% of training happens on the job. 20% happens through interactions within the company, and 10% is formal training outside. The 20%, which is in-house training, is done in our 2 training centers, one in London and the other in Singapore. And that's not only a place where you get to learn formally, but it's also a space where you get to interact with colleagues, meet people who are undergoing similar challenges, and learn from each other. So these are 2 training centers which we believe have helped us build the Unilever culture, which not only I, but anyone you call from Unilever will be able to speak about at length.
Yeah. Can I ask another question? I'm quite interested because I had the privilege and the pleasure to meeting Paul Pullman, a name who's intrinsically sort of connected to Unilever and I think the sustainability journey. So do you think it was a strategic shift for the company, or was it also influenced by this particular individual?
So I think Paul's been an inspirational leader for all of us. And he came and led the company through a very difficult time in 2008, when we were in some ways going through a crisis, and over the next 10 years led the company not only to financial and business success, but indeed being recognized as a leader in sustainability in all parts of the world. But I think Paul picked up on something which was in the history of the company. And our founder, Sir William Lever, who started the company almost 150 years back, truly believed in making a positive impact in the society around him. In Victorian England, a very large number of young children used to die because of poor hygiene. And he actually created the soap Lifebuoy so that people could have hygiene easily accessible to them. When during the war, a very large number of the workers from the factory had to go to the war, he actually employed their wives or other people from their family, the women who were back at home, but not a single person was lost their jobs, and everyone's wages were paid. So we believe that this is at the heart of this company's being. And Paul was incredibly inspirational and picked this up, but we believe it started much before Paul.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brigitte. So for now, I think some of you may still have questions, but if I may just turn it a little bit, because Sean, I think his business is also linked to Unilever. Perhaps Sean will, guide us with some questions that, it goes deeper.
Thank you, President Louise. I think you've put me on the spot. Look, I think first and foremost, I've been working with Unilever for just over 32 years, first as a retailer, and the last 20 years working and providing service. I think much like Rotary, where there's a great sense of purpose, providing humanitarian service, be it eradicating disease and or helping communities in need. What I've seen is a Unilever that is deeply cared about communities. Hemant, I never had the opportunity to go and spend 8 weeks living in a village in remote parts of the world, but I was part of, when I was running the Unilever business in South Africa, to spend a lot of time in the townships, which are or favelas or slums, whatever you'd like to call it, deeply immersing ourselves in communities, spending a night or two with them to really understand the challenges that they have. And this was long before Paul Pullman was actually leading the business. This was during Patrick Seskow's period. So I think what Hemant has told us, this is a deep-seated sense. This deep-seated sense of purpose goes all the way back to Lord Lever and what he did for the business. Our engagement with people within Unilever, and I feel like I'm promoting and punting Unilever, but it's not a difficult thing to do. Our engagement with people in Unilever, we've had, I've come across people who have really a deep-seated purpose and believe in making this world a better place, and that they don't see it as somebody else's responsibility, but their own. I would encourage all of you to go and understand the business better. It's not hard because, as Hemant said, we wake up with it in the morning and we have our first cup of tea, and I don't take off much makeup in the evenings. But the brands and products surround us, and I do think that they make life better. I think the investments that we are seeing in plant-based, reusable plastics, and many other initiatives are there to serve communities and make this world a better place. So I, for one, will forever be a die-hard and supporter of the Unilever business, and grateful for my association with. So I know that sounded more like a punt than a question, but I equally am open to answering questions if anybody has.
Mr. Bakshi, how would you look at P&G as a competitor in terms of your positioning, and what drives Unilever, makes it different in the market?
Yeah, so I believe P&Gs are absolutely fantastic first-rate company. They are our competitors, but a company to be respected. They have a very similar business model to ours, and there are times and countries in which they are more successful than us, and they are, and the other way around. We are two different companies. They come with a very American heritage. We come from a more Anglo-Dutch heritage. So we are two, I believe, really good, fantastic companies. So I wouldn't like to say why are we different from P&G. That would not be the right answer for me to give. But I can tell you why I think Unilever is a different company compared to many other companies. I think at the heart of this business is a desire to serve its consumers, has a very deep-rooted purpose. And finally, in everything which we do in any part of the world, we would like to have a positive impact on the community around us. There are many businesses who do the same. I'm not saying we are the only one or are unique in any manner, but if you compare us with a peer set of companies, maybe that will be a point of difference.
Thank you.
May we have perhaps another one or two questions?
I don't have a question, but Mr. Bakshi said it took 4 decades for him to attend a Rotary meeting. I would like to welcome him to Rotary.
I believe you had asked this before.
Yeah. No, I'd be very happy to join the Rotary Club. I am really waiting for an opportunity when I have more time. I realize that I should join the club only when I can spend time and have a positive impact. Right now, the business keeps me very busy, but I guess it's a question of time when I'll be in a position to be able to spend more time.
You are always welcome when you're ready.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have any question? Perhaps maybe those who are in the Environment and Sustainability Committee, about how we can do things with Unilever and kickstart our projects.
President Lewis.
Yes.
I have a different, slightly different question, if it's okay. I can go ahead.
Yes, of course, Ranga.
Thank you very much for the wonderful presentation, Hemant. One of the big concerns a lot of employers are facing is mental wellness, and it also is one element of sustainability and governance. What is the initiative? What are the initiatives being taken at Unilever, and what can Unilever do to champion this across workspace?
Yeah, I think mental wellness and resilience is a really big issue for a lot of people, including Unilever. We also believe that in the pandemic, during the last year and a half, this has become even worse. What are we doing about it? We firstly believe in a very hybrid form of working. We've reached a conclusion that work can get done from anywhere. Office is not a place where you come to work, but a place where you come to be able to build a network, connect with people, have a common sense of purpose. So we are modeling and we are trying to figure out the right way in which the future of work will be, so that people can live more fulfilling lives. We believe that's a big opportunity for everyone. In New Zealand, even before the pandemic, we were doing a trial on a 4-day week. We believe the pandemic has just accelerated a move towards a space where you can have more work-life balance. So that's one area in which we are taking a lot of action. I think the second is something which I spoke about. We encourage everyone in our company to have a purpose. And when I say have a purpose, it's not something which you just think about sometime. It's something we want people to write down, have it very, very visible. And in any development interaction with your line manager or your leaders, we believe it's important for people to talk about their purpose and let that guide their future. To give you a very personal example, I spent a lot of time thinking about what my purpose is. And then I came to the conclusion that my purpose is to be able to get people to achieve, people around me and my team, to achieve more than what they think they are capable of. And this came from my own observations that when you look at a lot of athletes, they are challenged by their coaches and mentors to do and reach levels which they themselves think that they are not able to do. And I feel, that is my purpose, to build teams around me who can achieve more than they thought they were capable of. And by being able to articulate this purpose, I have found that the company has given me opportunities to do jobs where this will be something I can practice on a day-to-day basis. So I believe when you have a purpose and your work allows you to realize that purpose, it improves your resilience, improves your emotional well-being. So there are many things we need to do in this space. By no means is this problem solved, but there are areas in which we are working.
Thank you.
So with that, can I invite Rotarian Sean Lees to give a vote of thanks to Mr. Bakshi, please.
Hemant, on behalf of the Rotary Club of Singapore, thank you so much for what you've shared with us tonight. I've heard you speak on a number of occasions, and it's always riveting. It's touching. I personally believe in what you've spoken about. I believe we can make a difference if we all engage as a community and embrace sustainable living. I think the work that Unilever does, both within communities as well as how you operate as a business, the way in which you've embraced diversity, equality, and inclusion in the business, it's a great example for us as business people, as parents, as colleagues, friends, and mentors to the youth and others we engage with. And I truly believe in what you've spoken about with around brands with purpose grow, companies with purpose last, and people with purpose thrive. So on behalf of all of us, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. We're so glad that the guard at the gate didn't shoo you away. We look forward to future endeavors as a club with yourself and possibly with Unilever in the various countries and initiatives we support.
Thank you so much, Sean.
Let's all unmute ourselves and give a warm round of applause to Mr. Bakshi.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And so,
welcome to Singapore.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
As usual, before we end off, we will invite you all to stay back for a few minutes to fellowship. For those who have come from overseas, thank you once again. We have through Keith and I think the other Rotarians from Colombo, welcome, and thank you for joining us. So I call a close to the meeting.
President Luis. Thank you.
Thank you.